Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa is filling in for Jess. And let's get in some front page news. On Thursday Night Football, the Packers take on the Lions at 8:15. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning. Good morning. There is a big story developing out of New York. I'm sure you guys have heard all about it. Y'all doing okay this morning?
Yes.
Up there? All right. So this story out of New York, as the search continues for a man who gunned down UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson in Manhattan. Now, the suspect in Wednesday morning shooting ran off and ultimately jumped on a bike, e-bike, and rode into Central Park. But police have surveillance video of him and are hoping to catch him quickly. Now, NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch spoke publicly yesterday about what they saw on the video. Let's hear more from Jessica Tisch.
Many people passed the suspect, but he appeared to wait for his intended target. The suspect fled, first on foot, then on an e-bike, and was last seen in Central Park. We will not rest until we identify and apprehend the shooter in this case.
So investigators say, well, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I don't think they're gonna find that guy because that guy is not meant to be found.
He's giving.
That was clearly a targeted hit, right?
Absolutely,
silence on this gun. I don't think he's meant to be found.
Yeah, while the motive is not clear, they do believe that Thompson, of course, was targeted, as you mentioned. Yeah, like you said, there was a silencer on the gun. In fact, he even cleared the gun. So the police and investigators are saying this guy is actually a professional, so he knows what he's doing. NYPD Chief of Detectives Joe Kinney says 3 shell casings, 3 live rounds, and a cell phone were found at the scene. The words deny, defend, and depose were reportedly etched in the shell casings discovered by detectives on the scene. I believe Lauren reached out to law enforcement.
What?
Yes, deny, defend, depose. So
he wrote that on the bullet?
No.
Well, we're not saying that he wrote it. What we're saying is that detectives have discovered or reportedly discovered that shell casings at the scene had those deny, defend, and depose words etched into them. So let's hear more from NYPD Chief Detective Joe Kinney on what they found at on the scene and in the video.
This does not appear to be a random act of violence. We are seeking information from the public to help identify the shooter. We're working through that cell phone. Obviously, we'll be processing it forensically. And as far as words being exchanged, we do not have audio of the incident. We only have the regular video. He ignores numerous other pedestrians, approaches the victim from behind, and shoots him in the back. The shooter then walks toward the victim and continues to shoot. It appears that the gun malfunctions as he clears the jam and begins to fire again.
Very scary.
Hold on now. So the shell casing said deny, defend, depose, and just like the news report said, I read the gun jammed and he kept shooting.
Oh yeah, he cleared it like twice.
He was able to clear the jam and keep shooting. Yes.
So he shot 4 times. 4 times, right? I heard the man got hit.
Yes. So Kinney says the video showed, of course, that the masked suspect was dressed in dark clothes and a distinctive gray backpack. So, of course, they're looking for him. And, of course, the victim, 50-year-old Thompson, he was shot multiple times and later pronounced dead at a hospital. He was in town for an investor conference, and a $10,000 reward is already being offered to find the suspect and look for, in terms of helping find the suspect.
Very scary. If you look at the video,
in peace to that man.
Yeah, absolutely. If you look at the video, there was a woman standing right next to the guy that got shot. Where if he missed, she could have got hit. But you could tell it was a targeted hit because he didn't. He had one intention and he was out.
The way he walked down, he wasn't going to miss. Like he saw the woman, and there was a person in the car. You saw that there was a black truck on the left. Yeah, they were like about to pull out, and then they stopped.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the fact that he took off on a city bike.
No, they said it wasn't a city bike. They said it was an e-bike. They said if it was a city bike, they would be able to follow where it went. But they said it was an e-bike, not a city bike.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I don't think they're gonna find that guy because that guy's not meant to be found.
I reached out this morning just to check if they had any leads or anything like that, and nothing that they would give me.
What did the 4th shell cases? How many shell cases did you find? You said they found 3?
3. Yeah,
shells.
they found 3.
Oh, okay. Because I thought I read that he got the what's his name, Brian Thompson, got hit in the chest 4 times. That's what I thought I read.
Yeah, but that would have been. Well, go ahead, Lauren.
I thought it was a leg shot, a
leg
back
shot.
shot, and one other shot.
Yeah, I thought it was
Oh,
three
okay,
shots.
okay.
Yeah, two in the back and one in the leg, I thought they said.
And the bullet said deny. I didn't hear that part. Deny, defend,
That came out this morning.
Yeah, ABC is reporting. I think New York Post reported it too, but I couldn't confirm that either.
Yeah,
Wow.
deny, defend, oppose. So, that should, I don't know, give detectives, I guess, some lead in terms of, maybe a motive. So,
yeah, and that's very scary. Like you said, because it was 6:45 during rush hour. People are like, the city's packed at 6:45, 7 o'clock. So, very scary.
And what I'm hearing too is that meeting actually continued. That meeting went on. That those other members of that board pretty much, not to say stepped over him, but that meeting continued.
I think they didn't know though, because in one of the articles I read for New York Post, they basically said that during the meeting people started getting alerts and they were like freaking out, and one guy had to stop and say, "Okay, guys, we're dealing with a medical emergency," and people stopped to call their families. Like I think they found out in real time as we did.
Well, question: how could they find out in real time? They still had to walk in the building. They ain't see all of the police cars and everything.
They probably did, but they didn't know what it was.
They might not have known who it was, because at first we got the report that someone was shot. It wasn't until like 30, 45 minutes later here in the building I got an alert from CBS News that said who it was. Like they identified him.
It was one of the dudes in a truck that fell out the truck that they thought he got shot, because that was the first thing. They sent a picture of a garbage truck, like one of those loading trucks.
Yeah.
And they said somebody got shot. So that was the first report, and then it came out later that it was somebody else. So they probably, like you said, they probably found out in real time.
I know one thing. What's the point of watching that video too? Like, you're not a detective. Like, I have no reason to want to see that video. I kept seeing that video pop up. I'm like, why would I watch this?
All right. Well, people are watching it to see if they can identify him or if there's any clue that they can see what it was. That's how people identify the backpack.
And people watching that because they sick, and we love violence as a society.
I watched it because I just need to know as a reporter, and I ain't trying to identify nobody.
All right. Well, that is front page news. I know we went over time, Morgan. Sorry about that.
No worries, but we'll talk more at 7 a.m. about what's happening in Washington with the new president.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren Rosa filling in for Jess. And let's get in some front page news. Now, in Thursday Night Football, the Green Bay Packers are taking on the Lions at 8:15. Now, good morning, Morgan.
Good morning, NV, Charlamagne, Lauren.
Hey, girl.
Peace, Morgan.
Hey, y'all. Okay, so yeah, let's get into it. President-elect Trump, well, he is asking to have his criminal election interference case in Georgia thrown out. Trump's 2 federal cases have already been tossed, and he's attempting to do the same with his hush money case in New York. The president-elect is accused of attempting to overturn the 2020 election results in Georgia. And a court filing lawyer Steve Sh0t said the case should be thrown out before Trump is inaugurated in January. Meanwhile, the president-elect is scheduled to sit down for his first network interview, NBC's Meet the Press, that'll happen on Sunday. The network says the interview will show moderator Kristen Welker, and it will be taped on Friday and then air Sunday morning. Clips of the interview will be released prior to the show. Welker interviewed Trump for NBC News in September of 2023, which ended up being his only network sit-down during the 2024 presidential campaign. Now, in other political news, President-elect Trump's embattled pick for defense secretary was on Capitol Hill yesterday, Pete Hegseth. He met with senators who will decide whether or not to confirm him. Let's hear Hegseth make his plea.
Make sure that we're putting the warfighters first. That's what Donald Trump asked me to do. Your job is to bring a warfighting ethos back to the Pentagon. Your job is to make sure that it's lethality, lethality, lethality. Everything else is gone. Everything else that distracts from that shouldn't be happening. That's the message I'm hearing from senators in that advise and consent process. It's been a wonderful process.
Now, despite a report that he could be replaced, as you mentioned yesterday, Charlamagne, by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, Hegseth said he is not withdrawing his name from consideration. He is embroiled in multiple misconduct allegations, and the Washington Post reports that Hegseth will, in fact, visit Trump today at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida. So we will keep you posted on that. This comes as congressional Republicans are setting their sights on President Biden's head of Citizenship and Immigration Services, blaming her for the surge of illegal immigrants over the past 4 years. He says, California Congressman Tom McClintock says the agency has bent the rules to allow as many people into the country as possible. Let's hear more from California Congressman Tom McClintock.
From the first day
of Biden's presidency, USCIS adopted policies that transformed temporary programs into de facto permanent residency programs. For example, temporary status for victims of a hurricane in Honduras that occurred 20 years ago. This is illegal chain migration on steroids, all made possible by an agency willing to contort and ignore the law.
So he went on to say that nearly 8 million immigrants, illegal immigrants, have been allowed to stay in the country while they await a hearing, and that has overwhelmed social service agencies and hospitals. Director Sh0t shot back at the hearing, saying her agency acted with integrity and migrants have fueled the economy instead of actually, taken from it. Any thoughts on that? Into the next
I think
story?
everybody needs to enjoy the holiday season. Everybody needs to enjoy the holiday season. Enjoy these last little bits of normalcy that we have before next year.
Up.
That's
You
right.
ain't never lied. Let me tell you, it's crazy because it seems like California is going to go ahead and skip that whole enjoyment of the holiday, and they're getting down to business because California Attorney General, the last story came out of California. This story is also out of California. California Attorney General Rob Bonta, he's telling state institutions and their staff not to participate in anticipated deportations under the upcoming Trump administration, but also saying that they must comply with the law. He went on to say his office provided print guidance about what is expected. Let's hear more from California Attorney General Rob Bonta.
In response to the incoming Trump administration's threats of mass deportations, I want to affirm that California's immigrant community has the support of my office and their families by outlining steps they can take to ensure they are not using state or local resources to support immigration enforcement.
Now, he spoke at a public library in San Francisco saying the law prohibits using state funds, resources, or employees at state and local institutions to aid in immigration enforcement activities. So all that roundup, all that mass deportation, it has to be done on a federal level is essentially what's happening in California. Now, President-elect Trump has warned that, of course, the crackdown on illegal immigration, including mass deportations, is coming. So get ready. Yeah. Yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for me, guys. It's a lot going on, and it's a lot to keep up with. And I'll keep my eyes on that story developing out of New York for you guys with the CEO of UnitedHealthcare as well, and check back in. So that's your front page news. I'm Morgan Wood. Follow me on social at Morgan Media, and for more news coverage, follow at Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and visit us at BINnews.com.
Wake that ass up. Early in the morning. The Breakfast Club.